Good morning, and thank you for taking the time to listen to our presentation on the video game we've been producing for the Slave Gullion. My name is Sam, this is Harry and Thomas, and our team is Hat. We're creating our game. We were presenting the idea of the final product of what we're trying to produce with our game, as well as the different specifications we've been provided with on how to create our game and how we've applied them.
Yeah, the general outline of the project is to be a third-person adventure game. There's also a little bit educational, so the idea is that it teaches the player a little bit about the mythology behind the Lunasa Festival. So the player will play as Lu in Lu's quest to defeat Balor, the king of the Fomorians. And it's kind of like there's a lot of exploration involved, so we want the player to learn more about the mythology through exploring things and learning more about them. There's artifacts that the player can discover, which will teach them more about the game. So yeah, it's all about exploration really, but we want it to be fun as well as educational.
So speaking of Louis and the synopsis of what we're trying to do, our game revolves around the Lunasa Festival of the four provided topics we were given. We're mainly trying to focus on the history of the Lunasa Festival and why it was conceived in the first place and sort of mythology behind it, because it would be very interesting and the history behind it could entice people. Our game involves the old god Lu, of whom the festival was named after, and his quest to defeat the evil god Balor, defending Ireland from him and collecting artifacts which will provide history around the Lunasa Festival and general Irish mythology. Our game will involve 3D action adventure, meaning you will walk around and attack enemies as well as exploring throughout, and even solving some puzzles and having different methods of combat. And the specifications given to us include game user interface, which is seen up there. We have a health bar and we have a weapon cycle to make sure the player is able to understand what's happening, so it's not too difficult for them to get into it. We have also begun our work on a fully functional level. This is the layout of the design. We have most of our assets developed and we'll be able to apply them all so that we will have a fully functional game quite soon. We also have audio and sound effects as the specifications provided listed there that we've collected.
So yeah, so the target market for our game is what we're hoping to be sort of like the young teens to the slightly older teens, and the reason is for that is it sort of fits well with our theme, so it's like a sort of fantasy genre, along with the style, so the action adventure thing, so it sort of ties in with games like Skyrim and stuff, which are really popular in that sort of market already, and so hopefully that'll just be able to capitalise on that and sell it really well to that market. And then the age rating we're trying to apply to the game is a PEGI 12 rating, going by their standard, like the Japan European Game Information sort of standards. And the reason for that is because the game contains mild violence towards human-owned characters, and that sort of slides it into that PEGI 12 rating at the moment. And then the release platform is going to be on PC, because that's sort of what we've developed it on, so the controls are more tailored towards that, and then hopefully we'll either download it from the Ring of Gullion website, so while they're browsing around we might have a section for it and it'll just be easier to access and maybe download play on their own machine, or they can just play in a web browser. So again, it'll be on the website, it's just easier to access and saves all of the hassle trying to download it separately from some other source.
So in terms of inspiration, there have been a lot of really good third-person adventure games that have come out recently, and we really like the different ways in which they've approached the genre. We're also a really big fan of the low poly art style that you can see here and up here in the top left, almost kind of like an origami kind of thing. We think it looks really cute, and we really like the way that it presents the ideas that we're going for, and we think it's going to be quite visually appealing. So this is some of the stuff that we've made so far. You can see it's all like flat shaded low poly stuff. We think it looks kind of cute. Cool. Hopefully that's what the game looks like when it's finished. Here's just some more things.
When it comes down to our game, Sun Harvest, and how it will overall be beneficial towards Slave Gullion, the primary point of it is that it will teach people the history and the story behind the Lunasa Festival. And because the mythology is very like fantastical and it's just very interesting. I think it'll be very appealing for younger people that may be going on the website to want to learn more about the Lunas Festival and its history. It also includes fun gameplay to entice people. So if they're say browsing the website where it's available in the resource centres, they'll be able to enjoy it and just take some time and just to learn more and entice their own interest. There will also be collectible items in the game, and if you collect them, you'll be able to access a wee menu that will show you information about the items, again to emphasise the learning aspect of the game. And as previously stated, it will be available in the browser, so that people can access it from the website as they're browsing. Any questions?
I have one. Right. First of all, map. Where is that based on? Is that based on like Slieve area?
Yeah, a little bit. There's like hills and stuff around the place. We kind of have it based a little bit on the Slieve area, but also on like the Irish countryside in general. But yeah, it is definitely taking inspiration from Slieve and all the hills.
Great. And then second of all, it's based on the festival. But how are you going to get that message across then within the game? I know you have collectibles that will sort of give you some information, but will you have some sort of cutscene or something at the beginning of the game that's going to go through that topic?
Yeah, there'll be a cutscene at the beginning of the game which will explain what's happening, and then at the end of the game it will also go into detail about how this event shaped what became the Lunasa Festival.
With regards to sound, I didn't see in your presentation that you discussed sound with regards to your imagined world. Okay, so it's very evident that your art style and the look that you're going for was really well researched and put across. But the connection between it and the imagined world and sound within it, did you do anything special where sound was concerned? Did you do any research where sound is concerned that would match that style for your game?
So I think the sound is probably just going to be tying into the theme. So sort of like in Skyrim we'd have like if you're exploring caves, there'd be like sort of that more thematic music, whereas if you just sort of run around outside it's more like sort of a gentle tone. So I think we're going to try and do the same sort of thing in our game.
Okay, and what about your collectibles? Are you adding sound to your collectibles? Are you thinking about the Lunasa and that historical feel of sounds? What are you going to do about your collectibles? Are you adding sounds to them?
We're probably not going to be going as deep into like a realistic sound effects. We'd do more cartoony and then more like generic for video games, so like little pings if you collect the collectible because of its art style, so it would help keep with the theming of it.
Okay.